In this video, we'll learn how to charge refrigerant into an air conditioning unit. There are several methods to charge refrigerant, but in this video, we'll focus on the simplest and most basic charging method. Always wear proper PPE before starting the refrigerant charging process. Gather the required tools: a manifold gauge, an adjustable wrench, and the refrigerant gas cylinder. Then connect the yellow hose of the manifold gauge to the refrigerant cylinder. Next, remove the caps from the charging ports on the suction and discharge lines of the outdoor unit using an adjustable wrench. Then, connect the low-pressure hose from the manifold gauge to the suction line. The larger diameter pipe is the suction line, and the smaller one is the discharge line. The suction line is also called the vapor line or low-pressure line. The discharge line is also known as the liquid line or high-pressure line. After connecting the low-pressure hose to the suction line, connect the high-pressure hose to the discharge line. Now, slightly loosen the low-pressure hose from the charging port. Then, open the refrigerant cylinder, followed by the low-pressure valve on the manifold gauge. At this point, refrigerant will leak slightly through the low-pressure hose. This step helps release any air trapped inside the hose. Once done, tighten the low-pressure hose back onto the charging port and close both the cylinder valve and the manifold valve. Now we can begin charging refrigerant into the system. First, turn on the AC unit and open the refrigerant cylinder valve. Then, open the low-pressure valve on the manifold gauge. Once opened, the refrigerant will begin to flow from the cylinder into the suction line. This process should always be performed while the AC unit is running. Periodically close the low-pressure valve during the charging process and check the gauge to monitor how much refrigerant has been added. Once the required pressure levels are reached on both the suction and discharge sides, close the cylinder valve and the low-pressure valve. Then, disconnect the manifold gauge from the unit. That completes the refrigerant charging process. If the refrigerant level drops again after charging, it means there is a leak somewhere in the system. Locate and repair the leak first, and then recharge the refrigerant. If you have any questions about this video, please ask them in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Intact Knowledge. Thank you.